They're everyday people, performing everyday tasks.
Say crack, crack.
Trying their best to pay the bills.
The best way to sum up where I was at for the last couple of years would be I made too much money for any help, but not enough money to live.
Fighting through yet another day.
Yeah, I've pretty much done concrete and construction my whole life.
But when the work is done, the fun begins. And they allow themselves to dream.
I was born with cystic fibrosis. They told my mom I wouldn't make it past the age of 5.
We used to watch American Ninja Warrior together, and I told him, Dad, one day I'm gonna be on this show.
This is where heroes are born.
I was the guy sitting on the couch saying, I think I can do that.
It's very symbolic for the struggles that you face in your life.
This is American Ninja Warrior.
Pittsburgh in the house!
Welcome to the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Our fifth stop as we go around the country to find the first American Ninja Warrior. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Heisman here with former NFL defenseman Akbar Bajabiamila. And tonight, we built our course right outside historic Jerry Furnace, a steel mill more than 100 years old.
And how appropriate, because we are on our own quest to make history. These competitors are going to need to be as tough as steel to face the challenge ahead. And I can't think of anybody tougher than the man leading the charge, Joe Moravsky. He went further than anyone last year, including an electrifying run on Stage 2 in Vegas. And he's one of the favorites to win it all this year. And don't forget survival guide Elliott Hall. He was the only other athlete to finish Stage 2 last year. He also has the talent to go all the way. Plus, it's the return of gym owner Michelle Warnke, the second woman to ever make it up the warped wall. Warnke's one of the strongest women we'll see all year.
Now, if any of these athletes want to guarantee that they'll move on to the city finals, they'll need to complete tonight's qualifying course. For more on that, let's go down to Christine Leahy in the Palm warm-up zone.
Thanks, Matt. The Pittsburgh qualifying course is made up of 6 obstacles, 2 of which are brand new. We start at the quintuple steps where competitors have to run across 5 angled platforms, and if they touch the water, they're out. Then it's on to the log grip. Athletes will cling to the log and slide down 25 feet, enduring 2 jolting drops along the way. Making its Ninja Warrior debut is Snake Crossing. Competitors have to cross 2 tilting S-shaped beams to get to the other side. From there, it's the second new obstacle, the wind chimes, where they must use grip and leg strength to navigate across the suspended chimes. Back again this year are the Devil Steps, a set of ascending and descending stairs. And last but certainly not least, it's the 14-foot warped wall. Scale to the top, hit that buzzer, and you've guaranteed yourself a spot in the Pittsburgh Finals. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christine. We're going to kick things off with some local flavor. This is Matt Scaletti, a 31-year-old financial advisor from right here in Pittsburgh, and this guy bleeds black and gold.
I am the most proud individual in Pittsburgh, PA. We are the steel town, the Burgh, best city on the planet, baby. In 2013, I won Mr. Pittsburgh. I was the physique athlete of the year. Also, I've been a financial advisor for 8 years. I basically help people retire comfortably. But today, I'm gonna help people get excited for me killing the course.
Listen to this Pittsburgh crowd.
Oh, and he's bringing out the terrible towel.
Well, that is a Pittsburgh sports tradition. This guy just loves his town, and the Scaletti squad is going to be going nuts. And we are off and running in Pittsburgh. Scaletti, a muscular guy. And there he is blowing a kiss to his fiancée, Stephanie. Says he has 17.5-inch biceps.
17.5-inch biceps? That's bigger than some of the Steeler football players.
And now the log grip. We've had this obstacle before, but it's even more challenging this year. Have to hold on as it slides down 25 feet, and we've added a second bone-jarring drop.
And you better have a good grip or you will not survive.
Oh, and Scaletti ends up wet
The big muscles let him down on the log grip.
Well, you gotta be locked down with your hands and legs, and when he hits that second drop, boom, that's a choke, and he can't hold on.
All the Pittsburghers here representing. This is unbelievable. I feel bad I let him down. This has been a blast.
Up next, another local favorite. This is Brianne McLaughlin. She's the goalie for the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team, and she's a phenomenal athlete who's won Olympic medals, but she wants to test herself on our course.
Representing the U.S. in the Olympics is one of the coolest things in the world. It's something you think about when you're just a little girl. The next Olympics are in 2018. I'm currently still training, but I like to challenge myself. An American Ninja Warrior is something completely different from hockey. As a goalie, I do a lot of balance and agility work, so on the course, I think that's going to help me the most. Walking out to the line for American Ninja Warrior is going to be slightly different because I'm by myself. Normally when I skate out onto the ice, I have an entire team following behind me, ready to play, so this one's kind of all on me.
Brianne's a Pittsburgh local. Her friends Rachel and Nick here to cheer her on. This woman is a two-time Olympic silver medalist and the NCAA record holder with over 3,800 saves in her career.
Look at her lateral explosion there. The years of pushing off the goalpost and sliding across that crease really helped her through the quintuple steps. Trying to get as much skin on that log as she can.
This woman, 5'9", 130, long, lean, and so strong.
Now she's showing you her grip strength.
And locked in there. Glove save and a beaut out of McLaughlin. So much of a goalie's training is about balance and agility, Akbar. If that will help her anywhere, it's here on Snake Crossing. She feels at home on slippery surfaces. Can she keep her footing here? A little transition there. And on this second beam, there is a big tilt to the left when you get about halfway across. Right about here. Oh! Brianne McLaughlin going down.
Well, when she gets halfway on the beam, boom, it tilts to the left, and she wasn't ready for it. She made a last-ditch jump to try and save it, but it wasn't enough.
It's way harder than it looks. I thought I was going to have it there at the end.
Next up, a 56-year-old gymnastics coach at Vashon, North Carolina, Miles Avery. And this coach intends to show he can still compete with the best.
I was quite active when I was young. I fell in love with gymnastics. I just trained really hard, and voila, 5 years later, I was on the USA national team. Come on, attack the table, attack! I had a lot of coaches that believed in me, which led me to wanting to be a coach. I was a 4-time men's Olympic coach. You want to get better? Get out of your comfort zone. Get it, get it! Watching American Ninja Warior over the years, I think the agility, the athleticism you have to have in gymnastics, you know, lends itself quite well to the course. So I'm going to attempt these things, and we will see if I can do them or not.
He sometimes thinks he can do what the younger kids can do and wants to show them up. So as soon as he said it, I had a little bit of doubt because I know what his body has been through. But watching him train, I became more of a believer in what he could do.
Age might slow you down, but it won't stop you if you just keep forging ahead. If I'm the oldest guy to get up that wall, I hope there's someone 60 sitting at home saying, I can do that too.
Miles' daughters, his friends, and his wife Monica all came from North Carolina just to see this run.
Matt, the human body isn't supposed to do what Miles is doing when you turn 56. You know, they say Father Time is undefeated. I think he's about to make a run for it for Father Time.
Just a few weeks ago, Jon Stewart at 53 broke his own record as the oldest man up the warped wall. Miles has a chance to set a new mark.
I see you, Miles. You just made the log grip look easy.
Miles was a world-class gymnast himself, and then coached Paul Hamm to Olympic gold in 2004 at the Athens Games. This guy knows talent, knows how to develop it.
Well, he can work the beams. This is just like the beam. He understands this here.
Well, he's got great balance, but this second half truly challenging with that side-to-side rotation.
Well, I think he's going to rely on his balance just because he's very familiar with all of the balance obstacles.
Oh! And he does it!
What?
Team Miles falling forward!
I feel like Bella Caroli there. You can do it, Miles! Now our first look at the wind chimes. This is a new obstacle. Athletes will have to use their arms and legs to work their way across the 8 chimes.
And the key here is to stay high up on the chimes. They will get shorter the further you go across.
Really need to squeeze with your legs to take pressure off your upper body.
And looking so comfortable on the wind chimes here, Matt. Neither gap was a problem for him. This dismount right here can be very tricky. Watch this push off here. Nice dismount.
Miles Avery moving to the 5th obstacle at 56 years old. Now he'll be the first to face the devil steps. Tougher than last year's version, 1 step missing on the backside, and some of the steps will actually pivot. Good progress here.
Boy, moving well. Look at that, Matt. Look at him.
We could be watching history here, Akbar. Can he make this transition?
He's going to make this transition. Hold your body there. Hold it.
Locked in.
Woo!
He is 20 feet up. And now descending 9, making 8 stairs. There's missing one. Don't forget, 2 of these will have a 15-degree drop. And there he is finding him.
Come on, Miles Avery. Your AARP card just got rejected. Let's go.
Look at this.
Oh!
He's got it. Miles Avery, the oldest man ever to face the warped wall, 14 feet away from setting a new standard for American Ninja Warrior. 3 attempts for the 56-year-old Miles Avery.
You can do this!
Well, he told me earlier that he's never attempted the warped wall, Matt. Ooh, that was
Thumbs
nasty.
up short.
That was nasty. Okay, you know what? That was a rookie mistake there for Miles Avery. I think he's going to collect himself. Keep your eyes up top. Keep your eyes up top. Keep your eyes up top!
Akbar, it all comes down to the final attempt for Miles Avery, 56 years old. Go! Just comes up short, but what an amazing run.
Well, Miles had never practiced the warped wall and didn't have the right technique. His legs are out to the side. He needs to run straight up that wall and explode to the top. He gave it his best 3 shots, but his lack of experience on the wall did him in.
I got gas. I couldn't get up that wall.
Here's what's coming up tonight. He's got a serious shot at winning it all. And this season, big changes are coming for Joe Moravsky.
It's so exciting. I can't even believe it.
Plus, she gave us a moment to remember when she made it up the wall. Now, Michelle Warkey has to deal with bigger expectations.
There is a certain amount of pressure, which is cool.
But up next, this mom came off the couch to compete for her daughter.
She's gonna look at me and she's gonna think, my mom did it.
This inspirational story when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior here in Pittsburgh. While we were away, 3 more competitors took their shot at the course. Hardware store supervisor Shannon Mulholland can handle 2 kids at home. But she couldn't handle 2 jolts on the log grip and took a seat early.
Sit down!
IT specialist Anthony Cohen was visibly shaken at Snake Crossing, and after 20 seconds of frantic footwork, his dance came to an end.
He's gonna fall.
Oh! New Hampshire's David Hunt cruised through the first 2 obstacles, but when the video game designer reached Snake Crossing, it was game over.
Oh, boom!
Up next, one of our most experienced athletes, Chris Wilczewski. Not only is he a great competitor, he also runs one of the biggest ninja training gyms in the country. Lots of supporters here for Chris, including his brother Brian on the right, who we'll see run later on tonight. Chris Wilczewski in phenomenal shape, 5'10", 165 pounds. This is his 6th year competing on American Ninja Warrior. Has had his ups and downs. Last year, his best performance to date made it to stage 2 in Vegas.
Well, 6 years in the game, he's got something to prove here.
Wilczewski, a skilled parkour athlete with good balance, but snake crossing, a deceptively difficult obstacle. It's going to cause problems all night tonight, Akbar.
And Matt, I think the key to this obstacle is to move quickly. Trust your training, dude, and don't overthink it.
This first beam can tilt to the left slightly. Wilczewski seeming very cautious here.
No, watch that turn, that rotation.
He's in trouble.
Wicked!
Oh, no!
No, he can't do that!
He's DQ'd! Unbelievable. Chris Wilczewski shockingly out on the snake crossing.
Wow, I think moving slow hurt him here. That beam moved beneath him, and he wasn't ready. He tried to go backwards to regain his balance, but it was too late.
Chris standing by with Christine in the palm warm-up zone.
Chris, absolutely shocking result for you. Can you tell me what happened on snake crossing there?
Oh, that thing is incredibly difficult, and it kind of shows like how difficult this competition actually is, because any competitor, any level, seasoned veterans can go out on anything, because you have to have adaptability, and I just didn't have it tonight.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Christine. Well, just a shocking early exit. But up next, a 30-year-old stay-at-home mom out of Findlay, Ohio, Amber Holbrook. This woman who never played sports became an athlete because of her daughter.
My daughter, Kaylin, was diagnosed with severe autism when she was 18 months. It took her about 1.5 years to say her first sound. And just recently, she said mom for the first time. So that, to me, it tells me that she knows who I am. Give mommy color purple. It's been a journey, for sure. Growing up, I wasn't very athletic. And then when we found out Kaylin had autism, I signed up for a autism 5K, and I loved it. When I went running, I thought of her the whole time. I ran for her.
We were sitting around watching American Ninja Warrior, and she looks at me and she says, I think I can do this. And at the time, I don't think she could do a strict pull-up.
I realized that it was a way for me to fight for my daughter. Kaylin, I love you. I love you. I'm excited to run the course, not only for now, but for Kaylin's future, because she's gonna look at me and she's gonna think, my mom did it for me. And I want Kaylin to know that she can do anything.
There's Amber's husband, Craig, their daughter, Kaylin, watching back home in Ohio. Amber's just 5'3", but she is a powerhouse. That puzzle piece on her shirt, a symbol for autism awareness. She even started a support group in her hometown for families dealing with autism.
I wish her hands were a little bit bigger, Matt, to get a little bit more real estate here.
So hard to lock on. And she holds on. That is determination.
Now, that's a girl that knows how to fight through obstacles.
Well, this is a woman who had no athletic background, and now here she is on the course, Akbar. And this already a victory, spreading the message and the smile on her face. I think she's tearing up a little bit, Akbar.
This is an emotional moment for her, but she's got to harness those emotions and use it to get past the snake crossing.
This woman gained 50 pounds during both of her pregnancies, lost the weight 3 months after giving birth.
The more compact you are, it gives you better stability here. Hold on tight. That's it.
Holbrook. That's impressive, Akbar.
Well, that's that compact frame she has in that 5'3", 128-pound body.
And you see how that beam just tilts over. This second snake far more challenging because of that side-to-side movement.
Oh!
What?
What? I see you throw one knee and
gets through it.
Matt, this is why her kids call her a superhero.
Her husband on the sidelines, and her smile says it all, Akbar.
And now staring down the wind chimes.
And holding on.
Hold on.
I like an aggressive pace out of Holbrook.
And she's moving.
For a woman with no athletic background, she's looking incredibly comfortable on these challenging obstacles, Akbar. Wow!
When she thinks of obstacles, she thinks of Kaylin.
Oh my goodness, a 43-inch transition at 5'3". You can see that reaches at her outer limits.
Oh, don't cry, girl. Hold on.
This is a full-body test. Reaching out.
Okay, Matt, here's the problem-solving issue here. She doesn't have the wingspan here to make this reach. She may have to disengage by flying like a cat to this next chime. But right now, she doesn't have her legs in a good position to push off for the jump.
A good reach here. What she does have is determination. See that lower body starting to slide. The problem is it's hard to push off. And the crowd cheering her on. They love what they're seeing.
Push off. She's trying to figure it out.
And they're chanting Kaylin, her daughter's name, as she goes down on the wind chimes. But Akbar, I gotta say, that move on the snake crossing, the best move we've seen all night.
Yeah, that was big time. You can't use your hands on the snake crossing, but look at how she catches herself by going down to her knee and then popping right back up, just like a gymnast on the balance beam.
Right now, Amber's standing by with Christine.
Amber, I'm going to go back first to snake crossing. You went down to a knee at that point. What happened?
Well, I just locked my legs in and I just said I'm going to do it.
And then you made it past to the wind chimes.
Yes.
You were really hanging on, fighting.
Yes.
What kind of thoughts go through your mind there?
I was there for my daughter, and I held on for her as long as I could, because I wanted her to know that as long as I can hang on, then she can too.
I love that. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Coming up,
Felice Herrig is one of the most popular MMA fighters in the world.
I'm just doing this for me. This one's all about me.
now Little Bulldog is ready for a big challenge. But up next, he's a single dad who's worked hard all his life.
I raised 3 boys by myself, so it's been a constant struggle.
Now this working class hero gets his shot at glory when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior here in the Steel City. While we were away, 3 experienced ninjas learned how tough this course can be. New Jersey native Mike Needham made it to Vegas the past 2 years, but he didn't make it 2 steps on Snake Crossing tonight. Dan Galazinski has competed on 6 seasons of American Ninja Warrior.
There you go, there you go.
But at Snake Crossing, the gymnastics coach couldn't stick to dismount. And personal trainer Matt Zaharko, better known as Ninja Baby, looked good in his return to the course. There it was. But at the very last wind chime, he got his diaper wet. Next up, a 44-year-old out of Rocky Point, New York, Jeff Crable. He's a blue-collar guy here to show his kids how life can change when you dare for greatness.
I run a chainsaw for a lumber company. I'm a yardman. I do mill work. I'm constantly lifting heavy stuff. It's good physical work. I'm in a constant state of motion all day. But my life was tough. My ex, she suffers from mental illness, and she had to take some time away, and so I was left with these 3 boys to take care of them by myself. I don't have really any help. It's really just me for the most part. The kids started failing school. I was having trouble at work. My children had to struggle. You're literally doing the best you can, and it's not good enough. I just got up one day and tried to take all that energy and put it into something positive, so I started training harder and harder. I do a lot of balance work. I like to walk down guardrails and the top rail of chain link fences. I love it. The harder I trained and the more balanced I became, the more balanced I was able to make the household. And now all the kids are doing better.
Now remember, guys, if you pivot with your hip,
it just follows through.
My dad's like a mom and a dad. He works overtime, and he comes home and takes care of 3 kids.
Little old school, son.
Old school, it's a new school. That's a strong dude right there. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever known.
I really do look at myself as a hardworking, blue-collar guy from Long Island. Now I'm here just to prove to myself that the training I do applies to this course and I can really throw it down, and to show my kids, especially show my kids, that if you work hard and you follow through and you put in the effort, you can do anything you want. Come on, back this way.
Oh, good save.
Come on, Jeff!
Jeff couldn't afford to travel his kids here from New York, but his friend Adam lives locally here to support him. 44 years old, just a great spirit despite all he's been through in the past year, refuses to be defeated. An amazing physical condition, 5'10" and 195 rock-solid pounds.
And this is a guy that goes to work with a chainsaw every day, so he's not going to be intimidated by the long grip.
All right. Come on, Jeff. Grab it high, grab it high.
Looks like he's using his chin to try to get a better grip there.
Well, he's a rugby player, so this is a lot like making a tackle in rugby.
Jeff Crable is through. What an effort from the 44-year-old. The rugby player will need to move like a gymnast here on Snake Crossing. As we saw, Akbar, Jeff dedicates a lot of time to balance training in his hometown. Should help him here.
This is plenty inspiration enough for his kids to see him out here as a rookie at 44 years old competing. You know his kids are going to lose it when they see him get past the Snake Crossing. Come on, Papa.
This obstacle so tricky, may look simple, but it is deadly.
Put it in position.
One false move here and you are done. Already seen this obstacle take out some very experienced athletes. In this second section, particularly tricky. Believe me, those muscles are firing, trying to stabilize the body. Doesn't look like much, but this is an exhausting obstacle physically and mentally.
Yeah, this is where the snake will begin to rotate. Oh. Center mass, keep it locked in.
When they go for that transition.
Anticipate the drop here.
About 6 feet away, but so far, so hard to get momentum.
Stay on top. That's it.
And he did it.
That's it.
Jeff Crable, the 44-year-old rookie, gets through it. And the tank top comes off.
Now we gotta play it. Take your time now. Take your time.
Celebratory yell. The crowd roars their approval. And now on to the wind chimes. And a workmanlike effort out of Crable as he moves through this obstacle.
You want to stay as high up on that red area as possible so you can use your legs to give the upper body a break.
And now the really tough part, this almost 4-foot gap between the chimes.
With Jeff Crable's shirt off, you can see how much of his body he's using. This is a full body workout.
Gotta lock those lower legs in, try to save some of that upper body strength. If you do survive the wind chimes, the double steps nicely done there out of Crable.
Well, he's 5'10", so he's got enough span there, but you can see him now. He's really holding on. He's feeling it right now.
Come on!
He's just screaming. He's like, he's hurting. It hurts.
He is grinding it out here. I love the fight in this man.
Come on. Be my daily grinder. Be my daily grinder, Jeff Crable.
But he is dangerously low on the chime right now.
Your sons are watching you. Dylan, Colin, Ethan.
Sliding down. He's got it! A hard impact there. Crable fights through the wind chimes. Does he have anything left for the devil steps? At this point, we're not going to underestimate this man. He runs a chainsaw at a lumber company, so I guess he has a lot of upper body strength. It's slow progress here, Akbar.
Yeah, this is a different type of upper body strength here.
Crowd cheering him on. And he is continuing to fight.
When you cut lumber, don't let this cut you. Oh, man, he's having a hard time when he starts trying to pull himself up like that. Come on, keep fighting, Crable.
Well, this move between the 5th and 6th steps, the first big test on this obstacle. And the longer you hang, the more those forearms burn.
And you know what that is right there, Matt. That's the hang of death. He's dying right now.
And Jeff Crable ends up in the water on the devil steps.
Well, he was just exhausted by the time he reached the devil steps. He couldn't figure out what to do next. And then after almost 30 seconds hanging, his arms just gave up.
Jeff Crable standing by with Christine.
Jeff, you let out quite a yell. What was that all about?
That was my warrior cry, man. You know, I'm a rugby player 22 years. I never give up, and I'm always fighting to the end. I can promise you that. And I'm trying not to cry, so.
It's okay. Tears are allowed. What brings these tears to your eyes?
Being proud of myself. I've been through a lot in the last 3 years. A lot. And I got my 3 kids, and we've been struggling to survive. And this is the best year I've had in a long time, and the best I've been as a man. And I'm just happy to be here and happy to have made it that far.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Christine. And just a phenomenal effort out of Jeff Crable, and I am sure his sons are proud of their dad. Coming up, last season he did things no ninja had ever done.
Man, he broke the course.
What's Joe Moravsky gonna do on the course tonight?
The weatherman's calling for lightning in Pittsburgh.
Plus, he camped out for 10 nights and took baths in the river, all for a chance to run this course.
To me, it means everything because I think I was born to do this.
This walk-on's remarkable story when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior here in Pittsburgh. While we were away, 3 more competitors took a run on the course. Boston native Alexei Matusik is training to be a surgeon, but at the log grip, he got a tough lesson in head injuries. New Jersey welder Aaron Himmelwright had a hard fall on the wind chimes, but he got up and continued before having another hard fall at the devil steps. And costume competitor Scott Maxson, known as the Ninja Jester, had the crowd entertained. He bows to the crowd, but when he reached the top of the devil steps, his show came to an end.
That is tiring.
Up next, just an amazing story. This is PJ Granger. PJ drove here from Indiana and camped out for 10 days in the walk-on line. He even took baths in the river. But for PJ, running this course symbolizes a big turnaround in his life.
I grew up in a religious community. We had real strict dress attire. We weren't allowed to go to sporting events or watch TV. When I was 19, I left the church. I went through a marriage and a divorce rather quick. It was a dark time in my life. I was depressed. I just felt like everything I was going through, I had to fight by myself. And so I just relied on alcohol to help me. What made me change the most was meeting my wife.
He was drinking all the time, but I saw something in him. So I quit my job as a bartender. He stopped drinking, and we had a little girl, and we started a life. And you know, he went from being a raging alcoholic to being this Mr. Athlete.
When I was a kid growing up, I wasn't really allowed to play organized sports. I knew I had an athletic ability, and I've never been able to showcase my skills.
My son and I were watching American Ninja Warrior, and he came in and said, I can do that. He started with a pull-up bar in the hallway. Then he built the salmon ladder.
I go on runs around the town of Bedford, and then there's bridges on the trail. I train on the underpass of the highway. American Ninja Warrior has changed my life. I want to be the best person, father, and husband that I could be.
PJ's family is here from Indiana, including his mom on the right and his stepson there on the left. PJ only weighs 135 pounds. May not look like a world-class athlete, but he truly believes he has the skills to run this course. That's why he went through so much to get here.
Uh-oh, and he's taking his shirt off.
Can you imagine taking baths in the Monongahela River next to the course? That is dedication, Akbar.
Look at him pull up those shorts. He wants as much skin contacting that log as possible. His skin is going to stick to that log better than a shirt, so he's just trying to get a better grip on the log.
And it worked. No problems on the log grip.
Come on, Daddy.
PJ is a construction worker back in Bedford, Indiana. Doesn't have a ninja gym nearby, so does a lot of his training around town. Now looking at the obstacle that has been deadly tonight. Good balance there.
Wow. He's not looking like a rookie tonight.
And now the second section, which initially twists right, then halfway through, twists left.
And right about here is where it pivots to the left. You have to be ready for it. Like that.
Yeah!
Wow, PJ Granger handling a difficult obstacle with ease.
Well, just being here means so much to him. He actually drove to Kansas City, tried to walk on there, didn't make it, so he drove here and slept 10 days in a tent.
I would say for PJ Granger, this is his moment. This is the time to show everybody that he is the man, and he is moving through these wind chimes like a hot knife through butter.
No one has moved through this obstacle so quickly. PJ Granger looking like a machine here, and he's going for the dismount. He's got it. And look at his wife, so proud of him. Now PJ will try to keep this run alive at the Devil Steps. Remember, because of his upbringing, never played any sports growing up, but always believed he could be athletic.
And remember, no ninja gyms for PJ. Most of his training comes from hanging off bridges back in his hometown.
And now this transition at the top, so challenging. And he's got it!
Wow, are you kidding me? And the tilting steps don't even faze him. You sure this guy is not a rock climber?
And the walk-on is now staring down the warp wall.
Oh boy, now he told us he's never tried a warp wall before.
Can't get it on the first attempt. Now he's got to regroup, a little winded. Now he wants the crowd to cheer him on. So great form after all he's been through, being out here living, as he calls it, the clean life. Now you can see that deep breath. Got to be enjoying this moment, but down to 2 attempts on the warp wall. Came from Indiana and waited 10 days on the walk-on line for this.
That's it, patience. Sheer joy. Look at his face. Look at his wife's face. That's a memory this family will never forget. That's what this show is all about.
Hi, Mama. Stop crying.
After all he's been through, how can you not be happy for a guy like PJ Granger?
First time ever on the work wall.
Coming up, he's competed 5 times on American Ninja Warrior. But this year, something will be missing for Mike Bernardo.
I screwed up. I gotta earn my stripes back this year.
Plus, Ellen Hall's one of the fastest ninjas on the planet. And he's ready to make another run at Mount Midoriyama.
It's really just about dropping all the baggage and going for it.
He's coming up on American Ninja Warrior. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Our next competitor bringing a little Latin flavor to the course. This is BJ Reynoso from the Bronx in New York City. At 6'1", 195 pounds, this guy's big enough to play football, but BJ's actually a swim coach.
I've been teaching swimming for about 6 years now, and I teach kids anywhere from the age of 2.5 all the way up to 12. I'm giving them a life skill. They're gaining confidence in their own lives.
We're gonna look up at the ceiling, guys, with our stomach up, staring up at the sky.
And when they finally achieve something, the smile they come out of the pool with is just, it makes me go home a lot happier. As a swimmer, I'm very explosive, but one area that concerns me is balance. Whew, balance is an issue with my height and weight, and I have a size 13 shoe. I'm a little worried about that, but I'm here, and I'm gonna rip up American Ninja Warrior. I'm gonna swim right through it.
BJ's dad, Beraldo, is here. Dad originally from the Dominican Republic. BJ's mom from Puerto Rico. They met in a dance hall in New York City.
And BJ says he's a salsa dancer himself. Right now, he needs to dance his way through the 5 steps.
Well, BJ swam competitively for a while at the University of Maryland. Now coaches the Manhattan Mako swim team. I'm sure all his students are watching him right now.
And he's got some long arms. Should be able to hang on to the log grip here. Oh! Hang on! Oh, that was close.
He said he wasn't worried about strength, was worried about balance, and that will be tested here at Snake Crossing.
Well, you would think a dancer would have good footwork here.
And the rookie showing good balance here on the first beam, but it's this second beam even tougher. Tilts to the right at the beginning, then back to the left halfway across. And this is where that rotation happens. And he jumps for it. Oh! Reynoso takes a dive right off the course.
Look, he gets halfway and wants to make a jump to the other side, but when he pushes off with his foot, the beam shifts underneath him and just kills his momentum, and he's going to get some grief from his students after that dive.
Next on the course, a graphic designer from Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, Zamira Dor. She's competing to remember the man who gave her life, her father.
My dad suffered from Alzheimer's for 5 years. It was really hard towards the end. Fitness is something that we always did together. And we used to watch American Ninja Warrior together.
I'm gonna be the next American Ninja Warrior, Dad.
When I got the call and I was accepted to the show, it was the most amazing thing and the craziest timing because it was 3 weeks after my dad died. Fitness is in me, you know, because of him. I know he's gonna be with me in spirit, and I know that I'm gonna bring that to the course.
Zamira, such an incredible spirit, has a huge following here from her gym outside Philadelphia. Her father was her biggest inspiration and hero. And that moment with her dad was one of my favorite from any submission video this season. What a bond they shared. And she is safely through the first obstacle.
Now, Matt, Zamira's just a hair under 5 feet, so the log grip is a tall order. I don't think she's going to have that kind of bear hug strength that someone taller might have.
Oh, no! An unfortunate early exit for Zamira Dor.
Well, you hate to see her go out so early, but Zamira's the shortest competitor we have in Pittsburgh, so it's tough for her to really wrap up on the log grip. But just stepping on the course is a great tribute to her dad.
Well, she had high hopes, Akbar, but I'm sure she knows her father's still proud of her. Well, we have a bet going with Captain NBC Jamie Ron. If he gets up the warp wall, Akbar and I are going to get crazy hair just like him. See what happens when he runs up next. Also, just ahead, she's one of the toughest MMA fighters in the world. Now, little bulldog Felice Herrick is ready to fight hard here in Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna knock down that American Ninja Warrior course.
Her run's up next when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior's Pittsburgh qualifying course. Up next, one of the most popular female MMA fighters in the world. This is Felice Herrick, who's one of the stars of the TV series The Ultimate Fighter. She appears in MMA video games and is known by the nickname Little Bulldog.
American Ninja Warrior! I fight currently for the UFC. I'm in the top 10 of the world, and it's cage fighting, punching and grappling, choking and submissions. It's a brutal sport. I mean, I don't really enjoy getting hit, but it doesn't really faze me either. I'm just kind of like, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you 10 times now.
You know, I competed at the top level in MMA, and now I'm taken back to being a rookie in American Ninja Warrior. Sometimes ignorance is bliss because you just go out there with nothing to lose. You know, I might shock some people because I can be just as good as you and I can be just as good as that guy back there. Because I believe in myself.
She might be a star in MMA, but she is a rookie here on the course.
Elise Herrig, we have seen some tough
Whoa,
women. And shockingly, that is just the wrong approach to take on the quintuple steps, and Herrig knocked out by the first obstacle.
I tried to go fast.
Well, that she did. She got in a hurry and underestimated the 5-foot gap between the steps. Even a great athlete like Herrig needs to have technique, or the quintuple steps will knock you out.
Next up, it's the return of Captain NBC, Jamie Ron. He's back with his signature style, and this year, he's even got a challenge for Akbar and me.
I thrive highly on being able to inspire other people. It's one of my biggest drives in life. And to be able to do that with the show and this, you know, persona of Captain NBC is phenomenal. Especially the kids I see. I love being able to give kids the opportunity to run obstacles that they wouldn't get to try. I can show someone something new they haven't thought they could do. Nice job, man. And it's really great to be able to show them afterwards, like, you didn't think you could do this, now I'm showing you you can, and then that just opens up a whole new world for them. I'm lucky I have a bunch of people coming from my gym, a bunch of the kids, and I really hope to inspire them.
I now have my green-haired ninjas joining me in Pittsburgh. Matt and Akbar, I've got one for you when I make on top of the work wall.
Go,
Jamie's parents and his girlfriend all sporting those green wigs. Well, we've got our green wigs ready to go up here in the host stand, but it's up to the captain to get up that warp wall.
He's got to earn it.
Jamie Ron, probably the best known and most successful of our costume competitors. Each of the past 2 years has made it to Vegas. You can see all the green wigs in the crowd. We may be sporting them ourselves soon enough, Akbar.
Are we really going to do that?
Such tremendous sport. This is a guy who opened up his own gym, Pinnacle Parkour Academy. And with his background in parkour, you'd think he'd be very comfortable moving quickly on a balance obstacle. But instead, taking a very cautious approach here on Snake Crossing.
Now, I love the fact that he's got flat shoes here, really thin shoes. He can kind of feel the curvature, feel the rotation there.
Really taking his time, getting his footing set here on the second half of this obstacle. I think Snake Crossing is getting into our competitors' heads, Akbar.
He's overthinking it, Matt. You can't overthink it.
Getting near that midway point where the beam will rotate over to the left. He's struggling here, Akbar.
There it is. He's going to fly. Whoa! Whoa!
Showing that leg strength that he's through, and that's got to be a relief, Akbar.
He just takes a gamble here and goes for it, landing on one foot, and somehow manages to pull himself up. Great save. I think he wants us to wear the green hair.
Ron is not done. Now onto the wind chimes. And you can see the difference in his body language, moving much more quickly and more confident now that Snake Crossing is behind him.
You have to remember to breathe through here on the wind chimes. You know, the tendency is to try to hold your breath as you're muscling through a full body workout.
Now having some issues here at the 4-foot gap in the middle of the wind chimes.
He's 5'10". He can make this. He can cover that. Jamie Ron is coming for us, Matt.
There you go. Smart with the feet.
Well, Captain NBC has really improved on the upper body obstacles in the last few years, but this move to the last chime, very tricky. But makes the transition.
And he's holding on for dear life, but there's still a 3-foot gap between the last chime and the platform.
Shaking out those arms here. Spent a lot of time, Akbar, and this double step's going to be a full upper body workout, but still has to make this dismount here.
Push off.
And there it is. Jamie Ron moving on to the devil steps.
Uh-oh, he just pointed to us.
Yeah. Now we got the wigs ready, but he's still got 2 obstacles to go. Prides himself on his upper body strength, says he can do a dead hang for 15 minutes.
You better hold on. You talked about that grip strength. We've seen his grip strength in years past. It will be tested here.
Not a very rapid pace, Akbar.
If anything, this is where you want to move with rapid speed. We talked about the importance of momentum on this obstacle.
That gap in the stairs, 20 feet above the water. And Ron fighting through. But this descent, more complicated than years before.
Come on down.
Step. And now to the move.
And here it is. Here's the move. It says 15-degree tilt here.
Ron locking in.
You got to hold on. That puts a lot of pressure on the upper body here as it tilts. He's got the right technique. You want your thumbs underneath those tilting steps.
And he is fighting through, Akbar. What does he have left in the tank?
There it is.
He's
there
got it. 14 feet away from us putting on these green wigs. Well, he's not moving faster than the speed of light, but right up it.
Captain NBC, there it is. You did it. You did it. Oh, I got to keep the worker. That's it.
Time, Akbar.
There it is. Captain NBC, there it is. You did it. You did it. How does my green hair look now?
Looks good.
It looks good. I think I'm going to keep it on.
Well, your superpowers served you out. Captain NBC moving on to the city finals. So JB Ron becomes just the 2nd finisher on our leaderboard. Remember, the top 30 competitors at the end of the night will move on to the city finals. Coming up, Joe Borowski's among the favorites to win it all. But now the weatherman's feeling the heat.
Coming back for season 7 this year, it's definitely pressure.
Plus, Michelle Warkey helped break down barriers.
What? Michelle Warkey becomes just the 2nd woman ever to complete the qualifying course.
Now she's ready to make another run.
I would really like to hit at least one buzzer in Vegas.
But up next, after an embarrassing failure last year,
Oh no, just slid off.
firefighter Mike Bernardo walked away in shame. Now he's ready for redemption.
I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting.
Coming up on American Ninja Warrior.
Welcome back to the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're about halfway through our qualifying round here in front of the historic Cary Furnace. And Akbar, much like this steel mill did for over 100 years, this course is breathing fire.
It sure is, man. And if you don't have a game plan for snake crossing, you're going to get burned. The trickiest part of this obstacle is the 2nd beam. It tilts right and then back left. It's baffled competitors all night. We've seen 2 ways to get past it. You can ride out the movement like a surfer. That's it, the way Jeff Crable did. Or you can take a risk and make the long jump before you get to the tilt. He's gonna fly! Like Jamie Ron did just minutes ago. Do one or the other, or this snake will get you.
Up next is Washington, D.C. firefighter Mike Bernardo. Mike's competed previously 5 times on American Ninja Warrior, and each time he wore his fireman's uniform to the starting line, but not this year.
Mike, I know, is very proud to be a DC fireman and does a great job when he's here at work.
Every year, I've kind of become known for coming up to the starting line in my turnout coat and my helmet, representing them.
Oh no, what happened? Just slid off.
When I failed early on the 3rd obstacle in qualifying last year,
Michael Bernardo just in shock.
it was basically a disaster for me. It was really embarrassing. I really felt like I had let a lot of people down that were pulling for me.
I told him this year, I said, don't wear that turnout gear unless you're going to get through that course. When you finish at the top, then you put that gear on. He's representing all of us here in D.C. Make us proud.
I didn't come to lose. I got to earn my stripes back this year. So that's what I plan to do.
Get it, Mike!
His fellow firefighter and competitor Noel Reyes holding the jacket for him. And there it is. The cheer that means, here I go. And right through the quintuple steps. Bernardo feels he has not lived up to his potential, but says this year will be the year, Akbar. Fireman with a nice move ducking under the log.
Well, this is the third obstacle which took him out last year. And as we've seen, snake crossing is very tricky. Mike Bernardo cannot overthink it. Don't fall into that trap.
Well, Mike says he's brought meditation and visualization into his training this year to avoid doing just that. To stay mentally focused on these obstacles. Bernardo making good progress. This back half, though, so problematic.
You better treat this snake crossing like it's on fire. Just run and go for it.
This is a guy who was on a flight to Tokyo, actually saved a passenger by performing CPR. He has been in life and death situations. Yet he says this makes him more nervous.
There it is.
Locked in. Take the leap.
Explode before the pivot. Go for the explosion. You got it, get it.
Nice!
There it is.
I love it. Bernardo, you know, it took a while, but he had a plan.
You got this, Mike. This is the easy part.
Now on the wind chimes, his upper body strength, expect him to excel here. 5'9", 175. And again, it's so great having firefighters, EMS, police officers, soldiers, these people who put their lives on the line for us. We appreciate them so much being out here, coming to compete. And seeing how physically gifted they are makes me feel good.
Well, he's physically gifted. This should be easy for him on the wind chime. He's used to kind of maneuvering on poles here. Let's see how he does come here off the dismount.
He is certainly one of the most passionate fans of American Ninja Warrior. One of the most passionate fans, but hasn't had success commensurate with his effort. Feels this could be his breakout year.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
So he should be in very good shape here on the Devil Steps.
Let's go!
I cannot overstate the incredible camaraderie that forms between these competitors. The genuine support and friendship makes this sport amazing.
But when you get out here and you step on this course, you're all by yourself. What can you do on your own?
And you can see this guy is shredded. Bernardo,
you
so
can see
tough.
everything here.
20 feet up, do not look down. As a fireman, feel like he's comfortable going down the ladder. Keep in mind, two of these rungs will move.
They will move. There's a 15-degree tilt here, 15-degree tilt again. Almost home free here.
Bernardo!
I love his intensity. Look at his eyes, the intensity. He wants to earn that jacket back.
Reclaim it.
Yes! That's the passion I respond to.
Oh, boy, there it is. He is turned good! Oh, with the elbow.
He stands atop the rope wall, going back to the city finals.
This is a big run for Bernardo. Oh, and he's coming down the front. He wants that jacket now.
And look at that, the jacket right on. One fireman to another. He's put his colors back on. And I love it. He's representing it. That's why I have such respect for these athletes. Their hard work defines how they do their jobs. Good for Mike Bernardo. And right now, he's standing by with Christine Leahy.
Mike, you called last year your worst season ever. What kind of things did you learn in your year of preparing for this?
Well, I just, you know, when you go through ups and downs like this, you kind of take a step back and wonder why you do the things you do. But, you know, with my friends and everybody that I've been training with, and, you know, it's just American Ninja Warrior. You know, we're not saving the world out here. We're not curing cancer. We're not solving hunger. But it's symbolic for all of the struggles that we face in our everyday lives and the things that we, you know, strive to become better at to help ourselves and help others. So I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can.
Mike, put that jacket back on. Congratulations. Matt and Akbar, we send it back to you.
And Mike Bernardo jumps into the second spot on our leaderboard and moves on to the city finals. Coming up,
Ryan Ripley's beaten the odds before.
They told my mom I wouldn't make it past the age of 5.
Now, despite suffering from cystic fibrosis, he's gonna run this course. And later, she's one of only 3 women to make it up the wall. Now, Michelle Warkey tries to do it all again.
It's everyone's goal to hit that buzzer.
Her run's coming up on American Ninja Warrior. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior. Our coverage tonight is brought to you in part by our friends at Palm Wonderful. While we were away, 3 more athletes tried their hand at the course. Our tallest female competitor, Abby Majewski, had a good start to her run.
That's it.
But the 6-foot champion high jumper couldn't clear the bar on Snake Crossing.
Oh!
2-time Vegas competitor Brian Wilczewski did what older brother Chris could not.
Let's do this, baby!
He finished the qualifying course. Brian Wilczewski hits that buzzer. And 34-year-old Ron Schmidt miraculously hung on at Snake Crossing.
Unbelievable! Snake cannot bite what he can't catch!
And the Pittsburgh local made it all the way to the top of the warp wall.
Drop the mic! Schmidt is here!
Next on the course is an incredible young man, 26-year-old Ryan Ripley from St. Charles, Missouri. Ryan works at Walmart, but tonight he's the CF Warrior.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disorder. It's a building of mucus in the body. It's in my lungs, it's in my stomach, and that keeps me from having normal body functions. They told my mom I wouldn't make it past the age of 5. Growing up with that thought made you kind of scared of everything. A common cold could be the flu. You could be hospitalized from someone sneezing on you. And I was up to taking 36 pills a day. It was crazy. I'd wear a vest 30 minutes twice a day. The vest breaks up mucus. It vibrates and shakes the lungs around to break mucus off the walls. I just learned to live with it. I knew when I was young and being told I would never have an active lifestyle that it would depend on me and me alone to get myself to progress in life and get past anything and everything the doctors threw at me. Cystic fibrosis controlled a lot of my life. Recently I decided to take it back and try and control it. My buddy pushed me to get into cardio. Cardio pretty much made my lungs open up and expand, and the more I ran, the more my feet hit the ground, the more mucus broke off my lungs. And the less mucus I have, the healthier my conditions are. The better my breathing, the better my movements, the longer I last in the gym. I've weaned my way off most of the medicine. I'm proof that exercise and healthy diet helps. I have definitely taken a huge control of CF, whereas my whole life it's controlled me. At this point in life, I have defined the disease's limits. You can beat it. You just gotta work for it.
Ryan's mom here all the way from Missouri. Just amazing to consider what this young man is doing. Cystic fibrosis, such a debilitating, often life-shortening disease, and yet here he is competing alongside some of the best athletes in the world. 4 years ago, started going to the gym to get healthy, turned his life around. Good grip there out of Ripley.
His illness is not going to hold him back tonight. You know, tonight, he's an athlete.
With his disease, was never able to play sports as a kid, but right now, stepping up to take on a truly challenging obstacle, Snake Crossing. The shirt, the CF Warrior, wants to inspire others battling this disease, show them you don't have to live a limited existence.
He's competing for a really big cause here, and believe it or not, I think Ripley has exactly what it takes, the right motivation to get him through. There it is.
Great balance out of Ripley. And he has threw a smile on his face.
You better believe Ryan Ripley is here to finish.
Been such a crazy night of competition here in the Steel City. And now great progression here through the wind chimes.
Oh, look, he's getting so aggressive. Got that aggressive look on his face. He wants it.
4-foot gap. It's going to be a bit challenging for the 5'7" Ripley. A little trouble incorporating that lower body, but now finding his rhythm again.
It can be tough for CF patients just to walk, and yet look at him giving everything he's got on this obstacle.
Ripley fighting it here.
Ooh, that's a huge gap that he's got to cover there. Look at that.
Ripley.
Hold on, get up top. Get up top.
Dismount can be a problem.
It's a little slippery there at the bottom.
Got to try to rotate around and push off. And he's got it! Ryan Ripley's run continues. Will he have anything left in the tank in that upper body for the devil step? Well, we have had so many inspirational runs this year by amazing athletes. Add this one to the list. When he was born, doctors didn't expect him to make it this far in life, let alone to the 5th obstacle of American Ninja Warrior.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Ripley.
All right, this is where he's got to rely on technique here, Matt.
Just refuses to quit. I love the fight in this guy. Oh! Ripley goes out, but what a run out of the young man battling cystic fibrosis.
Well, Ryan got to that difficult transition and just didn't have the strength to make the reach to the 6th step. But getting as far as he did should be an inspiration to others with his disease.
I just couldn't keep my grip. Couldn't keep my composure. I did my best, though.
Well, it's almost time for the weatherman. Joe Moravsky went farther than anyone last year. Now he's feeling the pressure as one of the favorites. His run still to come on American Ninja Warrior. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior. While we were away, 3 more athletes took their shot at the course. 32-year-old Tim Matroka made the successful leap at Snake Crossing.
Nice bound!
And he did it. But the tilting devil steps dropped this Army swimming instructor into deep water.
Oh, come on!
K-9 police officer Joe Archambault failed on his first 2 attempts at the warp wall, but on his final try, managed to make it to the top.
That's it! Yes! Yes!
And 35-year-old dad Jeff Britton proved last year's trip to Vegas was no fluke.
I'm telling you, Britton's got talent!
The professional cameraman shot through the course and can now focus on the city finals. And Jeff Britton's done it again. On the course right now is Luciano Acuna Jr. He's got a crazy crowd cheering him on as he takes on the wind chimes. It's Acuna's 2nd year competing. He's a stuntman from Brooklyn, New York, and his nickname is the Brooklyn Beast.
And he's been a beast on this course so far, and right now, having no problems here on the wind chimes.
Acuna with a brisk pace. Those chimes are rocking.
Boy, it's not the wind moving the chimes. It is Luciano Acuna.
Good support on the sidelines there, along with his girlfriend, many other supporters of the Beast. Now, though, this is a guy who went all the way to stage 1 last year in Vegas. Last year in the Miami finals, went out on the floating stairs, a cousin of these devil steps. Has his upper body strength improved since then.
Moving straight through the devil steps.
This transition so challenging, 3 feet apart.
There it is.
Acuna's locked in.
All right.
These gaps, keep in mind, 2 of these steps on the descent move.
Yeah, some of them are devilish. A 15-degree tilt here. There it is. There's a 15-degree tilt.
That
moves too.
All the Acuna fighting through it.
That's it.
And that training is paid off. And he could be the fastest finisher of the night. A little celebration here as the train rumbles through. Acuna rumbles up the warp wall. There it is. The Brooklyn Beast with the fastest time of the night.
Oh my God!
I see you, Luciano.
Great balance.
That's it, man. You know what I'm here for. I know what you're here for. You know what I'm here for. Hey, go get that meal. Go get that meal. He wants that $1 million. That's what he wants. He is targeted on that ride.
And he's going on to the semifinals.
Well, check out this move at the top of the devil steps. That's a 3-foot gap he crosses with ease. And look at the excitement of Acuna and his fans. That's passion, baby.
Up next is one of only 2 athletes to complete stage 2 last year in Vegas. Ellett Hall is one of the very best. The 24-year-old from Cape Town, Maryland has competed for 3 seasons and made it to Mount Midoriyama each time. Last year, he was the fastest competitor on Stage 1 and Stage 2, and he was a part of Team USA that represented our country in our USA versus the World special. Alex, friends and family here to support him. And there it is, his trademark send it call.
Oh, and he just skipped the 5th step entirely.
The man known as the Natural. You know, talk about all the talent here. Joe Moronski, Jamie Ron. I don't know that any of them are more naturally gifted, but could be prone to mistakes. This guy often pushes the pace, Akbar.
Yeah, look at him. Only about 20 seconds in, and he's already in the middle of the 3rd obstacle.
Great approach.
That was fast right off.
Well, the fastest time so far is Luciano Acuna Jr., who we just saw. His time, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. And Ellen Hall is annihilating that pace. Had never attempted doing much of Ninja Warrior training. The biggest change last year was he'd been competing in previous seasons with undiagnosed Lyme disease. Last year he's healthy. Makes it as far as anyone other than Joe Moronski getting to Stage 3.
He just got off the wind chime faster than anyone. He usually puts up the fastest time, and he is way ahead of all the other finishers so far.
Wow! Ellen Hall destroying this course. The Natural feeling at home.
There's that tilting step. No problem for Ellen Hall. This Natural is hitting a home run.
Man, he's going to get to the top of the warp wall before a minute 30 if he makes no mistake.
Oh, a little stumble. That was traction. You can see it got wet. There's wet marks out there.
There it is.
There it is.
Well, we're going to
Just a few seconds.
Man, he just hit that button and said, that was easy. I'm going to make that our Palm Wonderful Crazy Healthy Run of the night. Ellen Hall just sprinted through this course in half the time of the next closest finisher. Crazy!
Ellen, speed demon. But you know what? You stumbled on the warped wall. So do you think that you still went fast enough to get the fastest time?
I sure hope so. It was a little wet, but yeah, I think I still clinched it. That foot slipped on my last step a lot.
Well, it's okay, because you still had the fastest time of the night. Congratulations. We're going to see you again in the city finals.
All right, sounds good.
Guys?
So Ellen Hall puts up the time to beat at the top of our leaderboard. At the end of the night, only the top 30, those who finish or go the farthest, the fastest, will move on to the city finals. Well, 2 of the most anticipated runs of the night are minutes away. Joe Moronski will launch a new assault on Mount Midoriyama. But up first, Michelle Warnke. We'll see her run when we come back on American Ninja Warrior. Welcome back to the qualifying round of American Ninja Warrior here in Pittsburgh. While we await, 3 more competitors tried to conquer the course. Professional Frisbee player Matt Etzer took the low grip for a spin, but all he got was a headache. Oh! Justin Kidd calls himself the sewing ninja because he makes his own clothes.
Long stitch 1. Pearl 2!
And the Maryland native stitched together one of the fastest runs of the night. And 34-year-old high school teacher Dustin Sanderson passed this test with flying colors.
He is annihilating it.
And put up the 2nd fastest time of the night thus far.
Wow! I love the fight in him!
And now it's Warnke time. This is one of the runs the crowd has been waiting for. From Worthington, Ohio, it's Michelle Warnke. Not only is she one of the strongest competitors, she's also one of the most popular.
In qualifiers last year, making up the warp wall was huge. I was just crazy excited after hitting the buzzer. I was on a mountaintop, couldn't stop smiling, was running all over the place, hugging everyone. After I got out the warped wall and was aired on TV, I had hundreds of people literally write me, asking for birthday parties. Hey, can I train for the show? So it's been really cool to inspire other females and just meet random people and talk to them too. You definitely have a reputation of, oh, it's Michelle Warnke. She made it out the warped wall. She can beat this course. So there is a certain amount of pressure. Definitely hope I can do it again. This year, I want to set my goals high. I would love to hit the buzzer in qualifiers and finals in Pittsburgh, and I'm shooting for it. I definitely would love to hit one in Vegas.
There's Michelle's family here to cheer her on. Her father, Chris, has actually been training with her hopes to compete next year.
I truly believe that Michelle Warnke, with her strength and her experience, she could go further than any woman in the competition.
And here's what I like. A very measured 2-foot approach around the quintuple steps. Don't go out bounding between them on something. You're not going to be about speed, you're about success, and that was a very cautious, certain approach. Got her through in plenty of time, but got her through safely. Here as a rock climber, expect to be able to lock in. Lower body as well. Holding on. So strong, working a nice duck. And there's her dad cheering her on. Gotta love that guy. Look at the balance, though. Warnke so comfortable.
Well, she competed in cross country in college, so you know she's got strong legs.
5-4, what's she gonna do? Will she make the leap, or will she try to ride out that S transition in the middle? She's powerful, strong lower legs, Akbar.
Michelle Warnke, your attitude determines your altitude. Get high here and explode up.
Looks like she's gonna go for the transition.
Okay, then she's gonna ride this one.
Oh!
There it is!
Despite herself, that leg went down, and that's just inherent skill. That was instinct, Akbar. She was so worried about that obstacle, and you can see the relief on her face.
Here we go. Now the fun begins. Come on.
Here's a girl that has a garage full of different obstacles from American Ninja Warrior. She's probably never seen the wind chimes, but at least she's well-versed in training on obstacles. And look at this maneuver here. Look at this maneuver here. Look like the spider climb right there.
I don't know that I've seen a man as strong as that. Now the second gap in the chimes. 2 years ago was the first time competing, had a stumble. Last year, dominant performances, getting through the warp wall.
Ooh, look at that upper body.
That's why I love watching Michelle Warnke, so powerful.
Man, send out the hashtag right now, Warnke strong.
This is it. You got it, girl.
One who loves to have fun, and the crowd is responding. She is one of the greats in history. Along with Casey, she was one of the first class woman to get up that warp wall. That is something she will always have, and she is looking to take it to the next level. You see that body tremendously fit her shoulders. Powerful woman.
Look at her go. Look at her go.
This rock climber looking very comfortable.
Stop the swing.
And you're telling me that women aren't strong.
She is strong.
135. This transition's a big challenge.
There it is.
Locked in, though.
Look at the strong transition.
A long gap.
Forget about his story. It's her story.
Warnke strong indeed, holding on to these two steps that rotate, but no problem.
Oh, come on,
for the beast from the east.
Get off, girl.
Michelle Warnke.
Get off. No!
She had it.
Oh!
I don't know if the strength gave out, Akbar, or she just made a questionable choice. What an effort, though, Akbar.
Yeah, what a run. First, look at she barely makes it through Snake Crossing. And that look of relief on her face. Then doing the splits on the wind chimes, no one's done that all night. And she shows incredible strength to make that transition at the top of the Devil Steps. But at the bottom, she just couldn't get any swing going and came straight down. She got one leg safe, but not the other.
Let's go down to Christine, who's standing by with Michelle.
Michelle, first I want to go back to Snake Crossing. How relieved were you to get past that obstacle?
My heart, like, jumped out of my mouth. Like, I couldn't breathe for a few seconds. I was very, very relieved.
Okay, and then the double steps. It looked like you had it.
I had it.
Did you think that you had it too?
I did.
What happened?
I started really gripping hard when I was tilting, and it was like, do I swing or do I try going to one more down? I was like, I don't know if I can, so I'll just go for it and try.
Well, Michelle, I could not be happier to deliver this news to you, but you made it far enough fast enough. So we're
So great to have Michelle working, moving on. But we are not done. Joe Moravsky is up next. The last man standing from Vegas will be the last runner of the night here in Pittsburgh. The Weatherman hits the course when we come back on American Ninja Warrior. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior in Pittsburgh. This is it, the main event. This is the Weatherman, Joe Moravsky, who went farther than anyone last season. And now he's got more motivation to win that $1 million.
So this season, the biggest news is that me and my wife have a little child on the way. We don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, but man, I'm so excited.
It's the heartbeat right there. Oh my gosh.
It's really cool seeing Stephanie and I progress from being engaged to being married to having a kid.
He's going for the fastest time! What? He's got it!
Stephanie's been by my side for all of my appearances on American Ninja Warrior, and my success each year has mirrored our relationship. Every year, it gets a little better, and I'm hoping this year will be no different.
Make it to stage 3 these past 2 seasons. It's definitely pressure. There's always pressure.
But I've been really focusing on forearms and fingers. I had prior to falling in stage 3, but maybe not enough. And so really that's been the main focus.
And that's how I can say I've really gotten a lot better. With Stephanie's support, I really don't think there's any reason why I can't make it to the top of Midoriyama. I really think it's possible.
Stephanie fighting a little morning sickness, but said there's no way she would miss this. Well, Joe Moravsky, so much on his mind. Last year, his breakout year, making it farther at stage 3 than any other American did, being a part of Team USA, one of his dreams. And he's really spent this year training for American Ninja Warrior, but this is the obstacle that I think has the greatest chance of taking him out. Aggressive pace here out of Moravsky, a confident pace.
Uh-oh, you saw the wiggle there on the dancing stone. Which usually means there's a connection with his core there. Let's see what he's got. That's it.
I like it. You know, a great veteran approach out of Moravsky, now really picking up the pace. I think he's going for the fastest time, Akbar. This is a man with pride. This is a man who looks to make statements.
Joe Moravsky is easy to underestimate. He's 5'10", 164 pounds, so he looks like a regular Joe on the street, but he's got legit athletic skills.
I gotta say, this is a textbook run doing everything right. Moravsky has gone out on grip strength obstacles each of the last 2 years, been his focus this offseason. Moravsky said $1 million would go a long way to buying some diapers.
Well, right now, he's looking like a boss here on the devil steps.
Elliot Hall, though, still comfortably ahead with the fastest time. He's going for number 2.
Number 2, that's okay.
And right up it, Joe Moravsky!
Look at that. Get on your knees. He's praying.
Hey, Moravsky! What's on the shirt?
I'm coming from Midoriyama. I'm coming.
Joe Moravsky saying it. He's coming from Mount Midoriyama. And after what we just saw, I believe him. The Weatherman is back in form.
Well, Joe Moravsky is smart. At Snake Crossing, where others have struggled, he just leaped over the trouble spot, and that's how you end up with the second fastest time.
Joe, that was a pretty aggressive approach there. Would you agree?
Yeah, you know, when I compete on American Ninja Warrior, my goal has always been to just go as fast as I can, but under control.
What's your plan for the rest of the season?
I'm just going to try my best and try to get to the top of Mount Midoriyama.
All right, congratulations. We'll see you in the city finals.
Thank you.
So our leaderboard ends up with 2 of our biggest stars at the top. Elliot Hall with the fastest time, and Joe Moravsky right behind at number 2. And all 22 athletes were able to finish this course here in Pittsburgh. Included in that group, surprising walk-on PJ Granger in the 11th position, while Washington, D.C. fireman Mike Bernardo landed in the 17th spot. The non-finishers moving on include 56-year-old gymnastics coach Miles Avery. And of course, Michelle Warnke, the only woman here in Pittsburgh to advance to the city finals. Next week, it's going to be a very special episode. We head to the docks of San Pedro, California, home to the USS Iowa, for an all-military episode of American Ninja Warrior. Our competitors will be active or retired men and women from all branches of the service. It's going to be an epic night. For Akbar Bajbiamila and Christine Leahy, I'm Matt Eisman. We'll see you next time on American Ninja Warrior.
It's as though she's destined to become an American Ninja Warrior.
Being a stunt woman, it's like my job has prepared me for this.
This is the moment she's been training for.
And she's back to prove last season's spectacular run was only the beginning.
It feels great to have inspired people. I want to do that again.
Look at this!
All new American Ninja Warrior, Monday at 8, 7 Central, here on NBC. On The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Mark Ruffalo drops by. NBC.